Hey there guys, it's Orms Plays with another video. So, I've got my quick thoughts basically, well, my thoughts on the Batman the Caped Crusader. I know this video is coming out a little bit late, I do apologise for that. I've just been away recently, like abroad, so I've tried to get this out as soon as possible, but I've just been away, like seeing family and that. Alright. But I appreciate the patience, and I just want to get my thoughts out there still. Alright. So yeah, the Caped Crusader has finally come out. It's been and gone. So what do I think? I really enjoyed this show. Like, it's just like nostalgia basically to the original, like, Batman the animated series from the 90s. Like, so good. And it like definitely lives up to like the expectations to like a successor of that show. God, even like the voice actors in this were really good. Like, I love the new Batman voice. Even like characters like Gordon, Alfred, even like Catwoman, and like some of the other villains as well, which were pretty cool. But yeah, it's such a good show, and I'm pretty sure that a second season has already been greenlit as well. From what I've heard from Prime has already greenlit it, so I cannot wait. Especially with that ending scene or end credit with a certain scene basically, which I will get into spoilers in this video as well. So I think Batman was great in this, like hands down to the voice actor. Like, he definitely like brings the vibe, definitely, like, to the voice, like the differences like between Bruce Wayne and Batman, and even like his relationship with like Alfred as well is really good as well. Like, I liked how like he's very cold to Alfred at first, and then eventually he does kind of accept Alfred as like sort of like a father figure in the end, but like he respects him a lot more by the end of the first season. And even like some of the other like allies in this show, like Gordon as well. You got Renee Montoya, even Barbara Gordon, which is pretty cool. So yeah, like even Barbara's like some of the like roles in this were quite interesting. It was to see like Barbara as a lawyer, which was quite interesting. Like going up against like Harvey Dent as well in like some scenes, which is interesting. Even like Gordon, he's already commissioner, it seems, as well. Renee Montoya, we know she's a detective. So yeah, some of these characters are pretty cool, and I just love the relationships between them from this show. But yeah, what do I think of the story and the villains? The story, each episode is basically a different story. That's what I love. Like, each episode is completely different. It's its own thing, which is pretty cool. And the villains, God, the villains were very interesting. Like, I really enjoyed them. So you had like the Penguin, a gender swapped Penguin, which was quite interesting. I know some people were like a bit skeptical about it, but I actually really enjoyed it, to be honest. Obviously Catwoman's in this as well. You got Onomatopoeia. You've also got Two-Face as well. You've got Firebug, which is basically a spin on Firefly, which is pretty interesting. You've got Harley Quinn in this, which is like interesting because Harley Quinzel is Harley Quinn before she's supposedly even met the Joker, which is quite different. You've also got Clayface, which I really did enjoy, but it wasn't like the monster version of Clayface. It's more of like the golden age version of Clayface, where he's just like a serial killer, actor that's like a serial killer. You've even got like other like wacky villains like Gentleman Ghost, which is pretty cool. You've got Natalia Knight as well, which is a character I don't really know that well, which is pretty cool. So that was pretty interesting to see that. Even like the crime boss, like Rupert Thorne as well, because I remember Rupert Thorne from the Batman the animated series from the 90s. Remember him, which is pretty cool. There is some Easter eggs to like other villains as well, which I did pick up on. Like obviously we saw like in the Onomatopoeia episode, I think it was, we got a reference to Floyd Lawton as one of the hitmen that was hired to kill Barbara, which was interesting. He was just like a normal hitman. You also got Waylon, which was name dropped at the circus or the carnival in the other episode where the kids go missing, which is obviously a reference to like Killer Croc, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, and I believe there was also a Poison Ivy Easter egg as well, like on a newspaper or something, that I did see someone point out online. I didn't notice it at first, but I did see someone online point it out, to be honest, which is pretty cool. But yeah, I'm gonna go into some spoilers now, so if you haven't seen the show, then click away. But yeah, this is your last chance, so don't say that I didn't warn you, okay? So I want to get the few things out of the way. So obviously the main things I want to cover in the spoiler section is we get to see like the relationship with like Batman and Catwoman, which is pretty interesting. So we get to see Catwoman's origin. So she's basically a thief. She's basically lost all her money, and that because her dad's gone to prison. They didn't really say who her dad was though. That's the thing. They just said it was like some sort of like tax scheme or something like that, or fraud or something. That's why her dad was in prison. So I wonder, because obviously they've done Rupert Thorne as like the crime lord in Gotham. I do wonder if they want to do like the Falcone storyline with like Falcone being her dad. But we haven't got like any references that I know of to like Falcone or like other crime bosses like Maroni or like Black Mask or anything. The only crime bosses we really had was the Penguin and Rupert Thorne. So yeah, we got to see, that was pretty interesting. So obviously Catwoman, because obviously she's got no money in that, so she has to start stealing stuff basically. And then we get to see her classic like purple costume, which is pretty cool. So yeah, get to see that. You also have in the episode with Natalia Knight as the like sort of like villain. That episode gave me vibes of I don't know if you guys remember, there was an episode in the Justice League Unlimited series, I think it was, where Batman has to stay with, or decides to stay with this girl that was part of the Royal Flush gang called Ace. Like, because in that series Ace was dying, but the way she knew she was dying, and Batman would stay with her until she died, basically, which is pretty wholesome moment in that Justice League cartoon. I had a similar sort of situation with Natalia, or Natalia, or which was pretty cool. But it kind of just reminded me of that because she can't be out in the sun, basically. Like, she has a rare, like, disease or something. That's why she was, like, taking, like, the life's energy or source out of the kids. But talking of the kids, though, so these kids were a pretty big deal. Because I thought these were just going to be random kids, because I thought, okay, so Barbara Gordon's, like, a lawyer. So I'm kind of curious to see, like, how old is Barbara Gordon in this show, or meant to be, because we meet Dick Grayson. Well, they don't call him Dick Grayson, but we meet someone called Dickie, Jason, Steffi Brown, and obviously another kid, which is basically Carrie Kelly. And if you know who they are in the comics, you know they're Robins, basically, in the comics, like members of the Bat family. But they're all like kids, basically, in this. Like really young kids. So it does make me think, like, how old are they meant to be? Because they're probably like, I don't know, like, maybe like 12 or 13 or something in this show. And then you look at Barbara Gordon, and she's like a lawyer, so she must be out of like university surely or something. So I don't know what their plans are for the Bat family in this series in the future, but I imagine maybe Barbara will become Batgirl eventually. And then obviously those kids, like, obviously they'll probably have a Robin eventually. Like, normally it's like Dick Grayson, Jason, then you've got like Tim, you've got Carrie Kelly, you've got Stephanie Brown, but she's also been Batgirl as well, Stephanie Brown. So who knows if they got plans for like the Bat family in this show. We'll have to wait and see, really. But yeah, that was pretty cool seeing them. But yeah, I'm just a bit curious what they're gonna do with those kids, if they will like eventually like suit up or something. But who knows? I guess we'll have to wait and see. Another thing throughout the series was we got to see like the fall of Harvey Dent, obviously becoming Two-Face. So that was pretty interesting seeing him. Like, he was very like kind of like cocky kind of lawyer or district attorney, basically, that was running for mayor. And then obviously like eventually, because he's like losing the polls, so he kind of has no choice but to make a deal with Rupert Thorne. And then he makes the deal with Rupert Thorne, obviously, but he decides not to go all the way through with it. So yeah, he obviously, because of that, Rupert Thorne wasn't happy, so he sent one of his guys to throw the acid at him, and we know what happens there. Obviously it's all scarred and all that, becomes Two-Face. The one thing I was shocked though was, because we got to see Two-Face go on a rampage a bit, was they did actually kill Two-Face off, which was quite interesting, to be honest. Like, I was shocked by that, so I guess that means we'll probably not get another Two-Face story in the future, maybe. Yeah, who knows? I mean, they could bring him back somehow, but we didn't really see the body, so if you don't see a body, then there's always a chance. But yeah, so Batman kind of like changes, basically, or Bruce does, because obviously he feels bad because of what happened to Harvey and that. So he's now like treating Alfred a lot better now. He's trying to be more like, a bit more like respectful, I guess, to his allies. But yeah, he'll probably definitely be going after Rupert Thorne though, with how that ending shot ended with where he threw the batarang at his chair when Rupert was sitting down, and you see the iconic like him standing on the rooftop while the lightning is in the background from like the original series, which was pretty sick. So yeah, that's pretty much how it ended, like the main like finale basically. But the sort of like ending, like end credit scene that we basically got was quite interesting. So it just like pans to this like old like rusty like shack or something, and we see a bunch of dead bodies in there with and we just hear some laughter, like very sinister laughter, and the bodies, they're all smiling, and the last guy that's laughing is dying from this sort of like laughing gas or something. And we get one shot of these two eyes just looking at the camera, and we hear the word perfect, and then it just ends there. And we obviously got our first glimpse of the Joker in this universe, which was pretty cool. So we're probably going to get the Clown Prince of Crime himself in the next season, I reckon, definitely. Yeah, which is pretty cool. The Joker, from that one word he said, he definitely sounds a lot different from like what we normally get with like any voice actor that takes on the Joker role. But it's very interesting, and I'm really excited to see what they're going to do with the Joker in the future. But yeah, and maybe like he'll meet Harley Quinn as well, which we saw in this season, because she kind of just like ran off after her episode basically, because Barbara found out what she'd been doing to all these like clients she had, basically like holding them hostage and like manipulating them basically. So yeah, maybe Harley Quinn and the Joker will probably meet at some point in the next season, but who knows. But yeah, my overall thoughts though, I really enjoyed this show. Like, I can't wait for another season. Like, I just want it now, that's the thing. But yeah, guys, I want to know what you guys think, and what do you want to see from the second season, like character wise or villains or like story arcs. Let me know down in the comments below, and don't forget to leave a like, don't forget to subscribe, and for more like DC content, stay tuned and go look at one of my other videos. Alright, I will see you in the next one. Bye.